Hey, Scott Bolden here. I got to tell you, the one thing that's on my mind that I think matters most, and I wanted to share, is the existence of white privilege in this country, the power of it, and how it manifests itself in these two cases. The one case, Ahmaud Arbery, he's running and jogging through the wrong neighborhood, quote, wrong neighborhood. He's seen at a house that's under construction, not taking anything, but just kind of hanging around there. Nothing illegal, nothing immoral, nothing inappropriate whatsoever. And yet on this day in Arbery's life, he begins to jog and he's jogging back home, but he's in the wrong neighborhood and he's being chased by three white men who believe it's okay to do a citizen's arrest, or what they call a citizen's arrest. Even under the citizen's arrest law in Georgia, they were wrong and inappropriate, because you can only do that if your life is in danger, or your life is in danger, or the other person or another person's life is in danger. At best, this would have been a property crime, but they took it amongst themselves to say and to do and to think that it was okay to chase him down with guns. And when he's cornered and he turns on him and grabs the shotgun, he winds up dead. And these three white men who are on trial have the defense, the audacious defense, that they had a right to do it under the citizen's arrest law of Georgia. No, you don't. No, you don't, because everything you saw was nothing but legal behavior. But because he was Black, your white privilege told you it was okay to do that. In fact, with the interviews of the police, you couldn't say what he had done wrong, other than you need to check some of these houses. You need to go back and check that unconstructed house, because I know he did something. And we were just going to question him and stop him. Who does that? A white man or a white woman running through any neighborhood is not presumed to be doing anything illegal. But Ahmaud Arbery, a young Black man running through a neighborhood jogging, is presumed to have done everything wrong. And then we're going to find out. We stop him and we ask questions later, and yet he's dead. The white privilege and the comfortability of these three white men hunting him down in this southern Georgia town is not just offensive, but it's nerve-wracking. It's bothersome. It's disappointing. And it reminds us of the trolls and the echoes of the southern part of our country before 1965, and quite frankly, even now, it still lives. Their comfortability with chasing down Ahmaud Arbery. Secondly, in the Rittenhouse matter, this 14, 15, 16-year-old kid fashioned himself to be a medic. He wasn't certified, wasn't trained in being a medic. He loved the police and idolized himself as a police officer. You match that with his white privilege. He left his home in Illinois and went to Wisconsin carrying illegal weapons, conversing with the police and others to allegedly protect property and to protect life because of the protests for the illegal treatment and the murders of Black people in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The comfortability that it was okay for him to fashion himself this way, to take a rifle, right, and go into the protest, if you will. Even if it was a mob mentality, he's driving the negative narrative and then being congratulated by the police later and backing up and killing two people, injuring a third, and walking back to a safe place with his friends and announcing that he killed two people. The comfortability of white privilege. Why were you there? You were driving the narrative. You then killed two people, wounded another, and had no tears until you got to the witness stand. The comfortability of white privilege says it's okay for me to drive that narrative. It's even okay if something bad happens because of my white privilege and because I'm entitled to be there. The short answer to that is you're not entitled to be there. You're not entitled to drive that negative narrative. You committed illegal acts, 2 counts of murder, 1 count of assisted murder, and you're being tried for that right now. I can't tell you what the outcome will be, but I can tell you that his defense is that he had the right to be there, and after driving the negative narrative, he had to defend himself. There's something odd and strange and illogical about a defense where you drive the negative narrative and you go into a mob and then you shoot 2 people because you're saying you were attacked. The comfortability of white privilege. That's what I'm talking about today. And to me, and for this country, that's what ought to matter most as we live through these 2 trials.